Well, this is a great day, and I'm delighted to be here in Sunderland at the Nissan plant to celebrate the fact that Nissan and its partners are tripling their investment in the UK to £3 billion. This is our largest car plant. Its future is safeguarded, protecting thousands of jobs and also transitioning to new electric vehicles. So it's a huge vote of confidence in the UK and in our automotive industry. And it's great in advance of the Global Investment Summit that we are hosting on Monday, where we will be hosting over 200 business and investment leaders from around the world, all of whom are going to be talking about committing to the UK because it's a fantastic place to do business. Companies like Nissan are demonstrating that today, protecting and creating jobs across the supply chain. So it's great news.
It's not just your electric vehicle policy that's confused. You tore up the industrial strategy, you've cancelled HS2, which CBI says has added a risk premium, and now you're handing out piecemeal subsidies, which you say you don't support, to Tata, to BMW, to Nissan. Your failure to keep your word is damaging the UK's investor case, isn't it?
Well, actually, we've just had a track record now of company after company committing to the UK. You just mentioned them: BMW, Stellantis, Tata, with their largest investment outside of India that we announced earlier this year, and now here Nissan in Sunderland, our largest car manufacturer. All of them committing money to the UK, building the next generation of electric vehicles here in the UK, creating and safeguarding thousands of jobs across the UK. All of those companies think we're doing the right thing. They actually welcome the changes that we made in the autumn statement recently to make sure that we cut taxes for businesses like this that are investing. They think we've got our strategy right as we approach net zero, and they think this is a fantastic place to be. They're all voting with their feet. They're putting money into the country. They're creating jobs in the country. That's a huge vote of confidence in this government's economic strategy, and you're going to see more of that on Monday. We're hosting a global investment summit where we're attracting over 200 business and investment leaders from around the world, and I think that's going to be a very positive day. What you're going to hear from those people is that UK is a great place for them to invest, do business, create jobs, and that is a wonderful thing for our country and a vote of confidence in what this government is doing.
I'll turn to some other issues, if I may. The Middle East. Should the ceasefire that's begun in Gaza today be made permanent?
Well, we've consistently pushed for sustained humanitarian pauses so that we could get more aid into Gaza and get hostages out. So this is a very welcome development. It's obviously the first step. We need to make sure everyone abides by the terms of the agreement, and we want to see all hostages released, including protecting the safety of British nationals that are involved. I'm grateful to Qatar for the role that they've played. We're continuing to work with all our partners in the region, whether that's America, Israel and Egypt and others, to make sure that this deal sticks and we can continue to do what we want to support everyone in Gaza, get more aid in, and to ensure the safety and release of all hostages. So it's a very welcome step, something that we've been pushing hard for and working with partners on, so I'm glad that this has come to fruition.
Okay, on immigration, will you apologise for breaking the manifesto pledge to cut immigration?
I'm very clear that the levels of migration are too high and they've got to come down to more sustainable levels. I've been clear about that. It's good to see that the ONS yesterday did say that the levels of migration are now slowing, in their words, which is a welcome step, but we've got more to go. And that's why I announced a policy earlier to clamp down on the number of dependents that students can bring when they're coming here, where we've seen a very significant rise in that. That action that I took represents the single toughest measure that anyone has taken to bring down the levels of legal migration in a very long time. So that should give people a sense of my commitment to bringing migration down. And if we see further abuse of the system, of course we're prepared to act and do more.
Reports the Immigration Minister this morning wants to double the salary cap for a work visa and cap the number of NHS workers. Do you support those ideas? And who's going to work in the NHS if you can't hire the staff from overseas?
Well, I'm clear that the overall level of net migration is simply too high, and it's got to come down to more sustainable levels. The ONS have said that migration is now already slowing, so that is encouraging, but there's more to do, for sure, and that's why I've already taken action together with ministers, which is to clamp down on the number of dependents that students can bring when they come here, because we saw a very significant rise in those numbers. That's due to take force. It will make a big difference, but of course, if there are other areas where there's abuse happening, we're going to look at that and we will clamp down on it.